Good afternoon, we're off to Iceland. It's Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. We've got Caleb, Cecilia, we've got Rosie, Elsie, Miss Bates, Miss Baker, we've got Sandra, Heather, my son Bailey, my mom Nini. Un, deux, trois. Bon voyage!
Proceed to the nearest.
Well, we made it onto the airplane and check it out. The Northern Lights have begun. Off to Iceland we go. Welcome to Iceland. Our first stop since it's raining is this wonderful restaurant where they were a replica of a Viking boat that sailed from here to New York. In fact, they claim to be the first who have discovered North America. And now we're going to have a wonderful breakfast buffet here in just a few moments. Our first meal. It is very chilly and rainy and spitting some snow, but we do have a gorgeous view out the windows here and a little museum that we'll get to tour before we head into the city center. We're right outside where the airport is and just arrived. Very tired, but we're all in good shape. So on to Reykjavik. All aboard! Heading off here into the wild blue yonder. That's actually the boat. It is a replica of the original boat, like I said, that sailed to New York. But he actually did use this boat on the ocean. Quite impressive. And here's a picture of that same boat I was just videotaping when it arrived in the New York harbor on October 5th, 2000, after almost 2 months at sea. And believe it or not, that's when the Twin Towers were still there before 9/11. And the gentleman actually that guided the ship in actually got to have dinner with President Clinton and go to the White House. So very exciting. Our first entrance here in Iceland to the Viking ship and buffet. And now our first breakfast in the land of good yogurt, good oatmeal, and good meats. Bon appetit! Okay, stepped outside to get some fresh air. The wind is like 40 miles per hour at any given point. It's rainy, it's snowy, definitely cold, but a little fresh air does a body good. Oh, there you hear the wind. Our next stop after lunch is here where Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev shook hands to end the Cold War. We're right here along the water. We just got off our bus. We have our tour guide Fanny, is her name, Fanny the Granny. Quick little panorama tour of Reykjavik, the outskirts that is, and back over to a very famous spot. This is exactly equidistant from Moscow and Washington, D.C., and that's why Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev decided to meet here to shake hands to end the Cold War. And here's the actual picture of Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev here at this house. We're standing where they shook to end the Cold War. Just want you to hear the wind. It is crazy strong. We're right here on the edge of the water. Like I said, we're doing a quick tour of Reykjavik, but very cold. Very, very cold. Check out this gorgeous full rainbow right here on the old harbor where they do the whaling trips. It is really, really windy. So we are now on a tour of the Aurora Borealis, and this is actual live footage from NASA of a sun flare, and this is what creates the northern lights. When this detaches from the sun and comes into the Earth's atmosphere, and these electrons interact with the nitrogen and oxygen in our Earth's atmosphere, it creates what we know to be the northern lights. And again, this is live footage from NASA of the surface of the sun with the sun's flare. And I'll show you what it creates here in just a moment. And after that sun flare reaches Earth, this is what you might see one time in the sky and what we hope to see at some point on our tour, the Northern Lights. We're still at the Aurora Borealis Museum, and this is how they test to see whether or not it's a good night to see the northern lights, and it's based on a scale here. But there is a rule of thumb, and that is a simple rule: no clear sky, no northern lights. But it's based on this website that they go to, and from there they look at the cloud cover here. And based on the cloud cover, they can tell around a midnight average time frame whether or not it'll be a good night. Tonight there's a lot of cloud cover, but they actually don't start checking that officially until about 6 o'clock at night. It's quite an interesting tour we have going on here at the Northern Lights tour in Reykjavik. Shopping street. Back around. The amazing tree. No, we're not going to the top because of the wind. We'll go to the early restaurant instead. Now we're in the cathedral. It's a beautiful cathedral. Looks a lot like Notre Dame. Just very, very simple. Simple altar. The organ, and then back. Fortunately, the bell tower line is too long, so we're going to get a panorama view from the Perla restaurant here in just a few moments. Next stop, Perla. This is the restaurant we are planning on eating at. Has a revolving restaurant up top to get a panoramic view of the city below, but unfortunately it's under renovation, so we're going to go on top and get a view anyway. But from the outside, we just came from Reykjavik down here on our little tour bus, and now we're going to go get a nice warm cup of soup and check out the view. Next stop, the most important, snirting, aka powder room, male, female, just a fun word. New Icelandic word, everyone out there in America, snirting. Say it together, 1, 2, 3, snirting. Okay, here we are on top of Perla after our Icelandic lesson on how to say powder room. This is the cathedral we were just at. It is a evangelical Lutheran church. Again, the wind is crazy strong, so bear with me. In the distance there are mountains, it's just hard to capture. And off this way is the, oh my goodness, the actual ocean. And I'll try to capture the other side, but the wind is really, really, really strong. Okay, we have a break, so here we go. Here we go. Back inside where it's warm, we're in the land of the delicious yogurt called skyr. It's the Icelandic version of yogurt. It's kind of like a Greek yogurt, but so much better and very, very creamy. Not to mention some delicious torts and tarts, and the Snickers cake my son Bailey has been eyeing, carrot cake, and of course for my student Molly, the lovely macaroons, and even these over here, absolutely delicious, and the flavors, I think she's already onto these. Coconut, passionate fruit, Oreo. There you go, Molly, an Oreo macaroon. Fantastic. Bon appetit. Right next to our hotel is this cute little grocery store, and so I just thought I'd show you some of the things they have here. These are some of the yogurts and some of the cheeses. Down here you have some of the milk products, and some of the chocolate milk products, just kind of fun. But what's really funny is right behind me, you've got your good old-fashioned American cereals, no doubt, and then some interesting chocolates, and of course the fun candies to go with it. Look at these fun Easter treats of chocolate and some of the chocolate eggs. Very fun, and all the yummy good chocolates that you can buy. And of course, one of my favorites is the lava milk chocolate coconut wafers. Yummy! Okay, next stop, we're at the Reykjavik Old Harbor after a little souvenir shopping, and this is where we bought some really nice wool sweaters before. This is also where it was so windy and we saw the rainbow earlier. So a little souvenir shopping, then back to the hotel before dinner. Quick little snack before dinner and before more souvenir shopping. This is the place to get the hot dog, and I'm going to show you in just a minute where you get the specialty lamb hot dog.
Yeah, we're going to share it, and I don't want
Okay, and here we are ordering our hot dog, and she's putting on the traditional Sweet mustard with fried onions. There we go.
And you want to say?
Ta-da! And there should be a little fried onions on there too. But it's a lamb hot dog. Yum! Check out the giant puffin here in the window. The glare is pretty bad, but he's on his lava rocks. This is the land of the puffin. And this puffin store is one for the making of the memories. That is so cool. Unfortunately, they don't migrate here until May. But this is indeed the puffin. It looks like a toucan and a penguin combined. But this is the ultimate puffin here in the window. We're on the main street here, doing a little souvenir shopping. Up this main street leads us directly to the cathedral that we were at earlier. It's kind of the main site here in Reykjavik, and it's a great point of reference when you're touring. Finally, it's dinner time. My favorite buffet. Come take a look. Here's some of the yummy things to eat. We have thyme and dill salmon to choose from, and smoked salmon, and some other cold appetizers and main dishes. We have mussel salad and seafood. And then we have the carving station here in a few moments. And all the warm food, all the seafood, and even some more mussels, and noodles, and salad. Absolutely fantastic. So this is one of my favorite restaurants to eat in. And of course, can't forget the desserts. This is favela cake, a lava cake, with white chocolate brownie cake. And then, believe it or not, we have Italian ice cream gelato. Bon appetit! And here is my meal, mushroom soup. And I have a variety of mussels and the seafood stir fry. And the bread's really good too. It's kind of like a cornbread, heavier type bread. It's very good with like jalapenos in it. Bailey over here, look at you. You've got the lamb and some turkey. So, bon appetit! After dinner, just a quick overview of where we are. So this is our hotel, Center Hotels. We're here on the main plaza, the main square here in downtown Reykjavik. We just came from our dinner here at the Yellow Building with a wonderful seafood buffet. And over this way is the water. And back over this way is the duck pond. This is our hotel, Center Plaza, and it's been absolutely fantastic so far, and I look forward to a good night's sleep. So, great day number one. Off to bed. Good morning. It's day 2 in Iceland. We're in Thingvellir National Park. This is where the two plates of the earth come together, the North American plate and the European plate, and they've created a rift in the earth, and they actually are separating as much as your nails grow in a year. Is it what? 2 centimeters. In 2 centimeters. When you cut your nails, that's how much this separation is growing in a year. So just 2 centimeters a year. But as you can tell, this is a big valley. It looks like if the rain could lift in the fog, there are beautiful mountains off in the distance. But we're going to actually walk down along the North American plate. That looks like the wall over there. That's the interior of the North American plate. And we're going to walk way down off here into the distance to the parking area and then come back. Last year this was all under snow, and this Viking house is all I could see when we came to this area to look for the northern lights. But welcome to day 2. It's Monday, April the 3rd. And they're off into the interior of the North American plate and off into the distance. The fog is rising. You can actually begin to see the mountains in the distance. Thank the Lord, because this is stunningly beautiful. Check out my son Bailey. He's inside North America plate. So awesome. So we head down deeper and deeper into the rift between our two continents. Absolutely incredible. Okay, one more shot while the wind has calmed down and the rain. So 13 kilometers separates the Eurasia plate, which is the mountains in the distance here. The rift in between, like I said, is separating 2 centimeters a year, and over here is the North American plate, which is where we're walking down and heading to our next destination. One of my most favorite places here in Iceland. Just wish the cloud cover would lift so you could actually see these stunning mountains here in the distance. Thingvellir National Park. Okay, here we all are in front of the North American plate, and a very interesting phenomenon is this rock stuck between the two bigger rocks. It's almost like a little island, a little piece of rock between the two tectonic plates. Kind of ironic little twist here. So our whole group in Iceland, woohoo! Take a look at the glacier melting here, coming down through the North American plate. It's like the wild rapids. As we continue on our trek, everybody has on their winter gear and also the rain as we head off further into the rift of the earth. Looking back up into the plates here of the earth, the Viking house off in the distance here, and then we came across this bubbling little spring along our little hike down. Check this out. We're on our way to the geysers, which is the actual pronunciation of the geyser, but all underneath here in Iceland are these hot springs, and occasionally you come across them. Off in the distance, eventually the mountains will appear. En route to our next stop. And here are our fearless leaders, Patrick and Fanny. All right, merci. Next stop is lunch at Geyser, pronounced Geyser. That's actually the gentleman that coined the name Geyser.